Good morning. Today you're going to talk about renting a vehicle. So when you rent a vehicle, it just means you're going to use it for a set amount of time for a set fee. Some rental agencies charge a daily rate plus cost per mile. That's rare now. Typically they are unlimited. It just depends what company you're working with. You might also have to pay for collision damage waiver. So this is an additional fee just in case you're in an accident that you aren't charged anything additional after that fee. It waives its right to recover the losses from you for any physical damage that you cause. Okay, and the way we're going to calculate this is the total cost divided by the number of miles. All right, so our first example, we have Joe rented a standard SUV in Cleveland for 3 days at $49.95 per day plus 20 cents per mile. He purchased a collision waiver for $24.99 per day. Joe drives 468 miles and paid $66.70 for gas. We want to first find the total cost, and then we also want to find the cost per mile. Okay, so starting out with how much he paid per day. The daily cost, he had it for 3 days at $49.95 per day. Then we have to take into account the mileage cost. So it's 20 cents per mile, and he went 468 miles. Plus that collision waiver. Once again, he had it for 3 days at $24.99 per day. And lastly, the cost of gas. Was $66.70. Okay, so go ahead and add those all up. Make sure you multiply first, so 3 times your $49.95 and then 3 times your $24.99. Order of operations. And you should get a total of $385.12. So that is the total cost. But we want the cost per mile. So in order to find the cost per mile, we're going to take this cost and divide by the number of miles that were driven. So 385.12 divided by those miles, 468. So $385.12 divided by 468, and you should get 82 cents per mile. Okay, so moving on to our next example. We have Winona is also also renting a vehicle. $30 per day for 4 days. All right, so $30 times the 4 days plus 22 cents per mile. And she drove 430 miles. And she spent $59.90 on gasoline. She did not get the waiver. So order of operations. Make sure you multiply first. So her total should have been $274.50. Now her cost per mile. $274.50 divided by the number of miles she drove, which was 430. So $274.50 divided by 430. Her cost per mile is 0.638, so be careful when you round it. Should be 64 cents. And last one, number 3. We have Wilson rents a car for 5 days at $51.29 a day. And has unlimited miles. He drove 198 miles and spent $29.90 on gasoline. He also had the collision fee of $15.50 per day. So we have 5 days. And when you multiply these and then add, you should get a total of $363.85. So that's the total cost, but he drove 198 miles. So the cost per mile, so even though he's not paying for the actual physical mile, to calculate out what he's paying per mile for having that rental, $363.85 divided by 198 miles, and you should get $1.84 per mile. All right, so what I want you to do now is go on to complete the comparison of rental vehicles assignment and then the workbook assignment. Have a great day.